What's that? First of all, Eric Wallen, fuck you. But you're absolutely right. Yes, my eyebrows are out of control. I used to get made fun of in high school all the time. It burned me. It burnt me. What's going on, everyone? Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. I lost my voice, man. Yelling at these kids. Yelling at the charts. That's why we're up today. You know, it's like you get really mad at your kids when you don't get mad all the time. And then when you do get mad, they know you're serious. It's like me. I rarely yell at the charts. And when I do, it goes up. This is an impromptu stream. I don't have anything planned. I will have a conspiracy I want to share. Probably going to be really dumb. But we've seen it before. Back in 01, 02, 03, 04, 05. So we've seen the same thing with Trump. Well, I'll talk about it. I want to start the show by giving my boy Rob an absolutely massive shout out. This man, I know he brings it up on the show all the time, which to be fair, I keep throwing the E thing in his face, right? I'm like, you said it was dead. You said it was dead. And he keeps throwing this whole Zcash thing in my face. Like, hey, man, I try to tell you. You said no one cares. You wrote me off, which he's right. It was true. I did do that. And then with Dash, you can see here on the screen, this was a Rob post, okay? This was a Rob post. October 2nd, 8 a.m. local time, which is Pacific. I'm calling it now. Dash is about to see a mega rally. Well, the price of Dash at that time was $33.24. We are almost a 2x. Now, keep in mind, Dash at the current time was like a $400 or $500 million project. So getting a 2x out of a $500 million project is a lot tougher than calling something at 50 million or 100 million, right? The law of diminishing returns in Bitcoin is rallying 115.5. Let's look at Bitcoin. 115.5. So I'll share my, by the way, I don't know, like I said, I don't have any like news stories or anything. This is really a community stream. I lost money on Friday. I know some of our community members lost money on Friday. My friend Mike Vollmer, and the only reason I'm saying this is because he said it himself. He lost $250,000. He made that public on X, and so I figured if he made it public, it's okay for me to say it. Mike, that's fucked, bro. So sorry, man. I lost money, not even close to what you lost, Mike, but I lost money. I want to know, those of you that are in here, if you lost money from the, do we even call it a black swan? Like, what do we call it? Like, we can't call it a black swan event. Also, by the way, how is my mic? My mic sound good? Let me know. I want to make sure it's not too low, too high. It looks pretty good coming in on the V mix, but yeah. Yeah. If you lost money, put a 1 in the chat on Friday. I think I lost like 12K, which, I mean, obviously sucks, but no, a lot of people lost a lot more. I mean, 12 grand's a lot of money. It's all relative, but it was money I was prepared to lose just in case, right? My brain always goes to what is the worst case scenario in everything I do, right? Everything I do in life, my brain, I can't help it. My brain always goes, David, what's the worst case scenario that could happen? And the worst case scenario is always rugs, zero, I use buy DeFi, right? You guys know that we show this link, but there's a possibility they can go bust. Possibility Bybit goes bust, Binance goes bust. So anything can happen. And so always in the back of my mind is worst case scenario. And if that were to come true, would I be financially crippled or would I be able to bounce back? And so I've done that in everything. especially with money and crypto and finance. I'd recommend you guys do the same. Save me from a lot of emotional distress. Joel Taylor said, don't trade with leverage and sat on my hands. Nothing lost unless I sell. Hey, man. I trade. I use leverage. I play in DeFi. So, yeah, so I lost money. But, hey, if your thing is, I don't give a shit about trading. I don't want to be in the trenches and day to day or, week to week. That's 100% great. If that's your strategy, awesome, dude. Stick to it. Make good moves, make money. I have a AMA thing up. So I'm sorry about my voice, guys. Genuinely lost my voice. I have something up. What's on your mind? Throw it in there. Again, this is a community stream, so I'll be focusing more on you guys, your questions. If you have any ideas or any conspiracies on what happened, I'll share that here in a second. Please throw it in that AMA. Non-skater said, Friday looks like it was nothing but a manipulated liquidity grab on longs by central exchanges with tariffs as cover up. Yeah, dude. Very weird. Very, very weird. I was talking to a friend of mine the other day, yesterday, literally. And it was just very strange and odd. And, I'm starting to think, I'm like, okay, Coinbase was down, Binance was down, 2 of the 3 top exchanges in the world, right? I think. So who was able to buy? Like, what was still valid? OTC was still valid, right? You can buy OTC. Part of me believed that there was a coordinated washout. We talk about Wall Street's being here and Wall Street's here and they're gonna, they're not gonna get in. And we always talk about we front ran Wall Street and the institutions and the banks, which we did. But they're here now and they're gonna want exposure. We're already starting to see it. So part of me thought, you know what, it was, and of course, this is literally a conspiracy, probably a retarded one at best. Part of me thought, we heard rumors that CZ might get a pardon. The Trump tweet, Binance, the issues of Binance and the pricing and the oracles and everything, like Hyperliquid was fine, Aster was fucked, Binance fucked, Coinbase fucked, a lot of platforms, Buy DeFi fucked, which I got screwed on one trade and then I got super lucky. And I showed some of you this last week, but I don't like, my Tau position got liquidated. And for I had like 1,000 in margin in there. No, I'm not sick. I just lost my voice. It was up 2K. I was in $2,000 in the profit and, I had a stop loss set. My liquidation was below what the price went under and it still got liquidated. And then I was like, something's weird's going on. I'm like, the price on the order books is showing this, but the mark price here is showing this. So I put in a 77x short. I made $2,200 in like 50 seconds. By the way, pure luck. I was expecting for that thing to for me to not make any money, in fact, for me to lose money. So I got back to even. Oh man, it was kind of fucked up. But this was my Tau. It's weird. Anyways, and it wasn't a 5x. The numbers are just not right. It was not a 5x. It was I think a 12x, and it was not 700. It was 1,200 margin originally, but I'd taken 25% off the table. $50 super chat from CP. Thank you, my friend. Hope we set up a Bitcoin reserve from the dip in exchange for a CZ pardon they need for ETFs. Yeah. That's kind of what I was, thinking, dude, is if Wall Street's going to get in and then, obviously, it could be a coincidence talking about CZ and Roger Ver is I think is going to get a pardon. there was rumors that CZ they were talking about giving CZ a part in, and then you saw what happened with Binance and crypto on Friday. OTC was open. Was there some sort of backroom deal? Was there some sort of fishy shit going on? Maybe, I don't know. The markets have bounced back fairly nicely, so I don't know. I do have another conspiracy, though, and it involves the president and his administration. So if you think about in 2001, or 2000, when Bush got into office, he had a lot of these like neocon warmongers around him, Dick Cheney being one of them, Donald Rumsfeld, Condoleezza Rice, and a bunch of NSA, an NSA advisor and yada, yada. And I personally don't believe the president is day to day, like doing what I think happens is, and I've watched documentaries, I don't know from firsthand experience, but they got a team of people that bring them reports, and the president makes the decisions based off of those reports and that intel. Well, they kept getting intel and reports that, what's the guy from Iraq's name? Hussein, what was the president? Saddam Hussein. Saddam Hussein has weapons of mass destruction. They're funding the terrorist attack, 9/11, yada, yada. He was getting that intel, and then he went in and they authorized the U.S. military to go in, and then obviously the war on terror begun. And now that Tucker Carlson, I don't know if you guys have seen it, but Tucker is doing I think an 8-part series on 9/11 files. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. How that happened, how much money we spent, and how the president was manipulated at the time to essentially declare war. And it was the people around him. So I'm sitting there, I'm thinking, well, who are the people around Trump? Scott Bessent, former Wall Street guy. Howard Lutnick, Cantor Fitzgerald, deep ties to crypto. His company launched a Bitcoin reserve. David Sachs, the AI and crypto czar, ties to Chamath Palihapitiya, Jason Calacanis, which, by the way, Jason and 2 other investors launched a BitTensor digital asset treasury fund. There's a few other ones. JD, big Bitcoin guy. JD Vance, vice president. So I'm sitting there, and I'm pretty sure the president knows, like, his tweets can move the markets in one way or another. It was very weird. Like, we see this tweet, right? So the announcement was made on the Chinese side 24 hours before October 10th. So October 9th, our time, but their time, obviously, because they're ahead. And we didn't really see any activity. And then we saw the tweet, Trump saying, we're going to impose 100% tariffs on China. Markets went down. Now, the bullshit we saw, the absolute bullshit we saw, let's pull up Bitcoin on Binance. This bullshit we saw, this bullshit wick on this exchange and on multiple exchanges, that wasn't from the tariffs, guys. Let's just face it. I'm sorry, but the tariffs didn't take Sweet to a penny, Cosmos to a penny, BitTensor to 160, ETH to God knows what, XRP to sub $2. Like, I'm sorry, but a tariff announcement like that, that is not what took it down. It was the exchanges going down and how the other exchanges like BuyDeFi, like Bybit, and some of the other ones, where they get their pricing from for the assets. And so after that, and everything just kind of cascaded. So, and then we get this tweet. Very like either Trump is purposely manipulating the markets, or he's being fed bad intel, or he's being manipulated by the people around him. Okay, hear me out here. I know this sounds crazy, but hear me out. Trump's got a lot of, we have the neocons of war. We have the techocons, the technocrats, Elon, David Sachs, Howard Lutnick, JD Vance, Scott Bessent. These guys, big ties to Wall Street, big ties to institutions. The same way that George Bush was getting bad intel that caused him to make a decision that ultimately was wrong and harmed people. What if the same thing happened here? What if the same thing has been happening here, where Trump is being fed bad info, which if you think about it, China came out and said, hold on. This isn't like some sort of embargo. This is not what it seems. I don't know who reported it, how it was reported. We're not shutting it off, yada, yada. And then this. Trump says, don't worry about China. It will be fine. So imagine a scenario where Trump is being told and fed reports from his tech people. Mr. President, this is what they're doing. You got to come out strong. You got to say something. You got to threaten him with more tariffs. He does it. That gives the perfect like outlet, safety valve for whatever bullshit just happened behind the scenes for it to happen under the guise of, oh, it was because of the tariffs. The tariffs started the sell-off. Bull fucking shit. The tariffs were not the reason Bitcoin was $10,000 gaps across 20 different exchanges. So, and then he realizes like, what the fuck? Crypto's getting hammered, which, he's obviously, he's tied himself to crypto's performance. And then he comes out with this and says, yeah, I'm going to backtrack. So I don't know. Crazy conspiracy. That's probably dumb. But what if Trump is being George Bushed? Not by people who want to go to war, but by people who want to give their friends in Wall Street a better entry on the top prices. And what they just did was they wiped out majority of perp traders, majority of the average retail person who is trading, and wiped the slate clean. So I don't know. Again, a conspiracy, but who knows? We've seen it before. It was in the playbook, the Republican playbook, the U.S. government playbook in 2001 to 2006. Did we just witness the same thing? And are we witnessing the same thing now? If for some reason I'm onto something, I'll be vindicated and I'll feel more confident about this conspiracy if we see news and reports that Trump is looking to fire one of those people. If we see that, I'm right. If we don't, I'm off my rocker. Let me know what you guys think. Am I crazy? Am I insane? I know a lot of people who had the access, who had the funds ready to go, and then the whale was adding to the short position up until 1 minute. 1 minute before. Very weird, man. Very, very weird. Joe said Binance did this, used the tariff as cover. I don't know if Binance was like, hey, we got to do this. I don't know. Maybe again. Yeah, Matt, I lost my voice a little bit, dude. So bear with me. Hopefully you can still put up with my voice, but maybe it's a coincidence that we're starting to see rumors of CZ potentially getting a pardon and then this should happen. I don't know. That's something that's crossed my mind as well. But I think the more likely scenario is what I explained. Trump is being fed bad info. These guys that are in his ear, that are giving him the reports about crypto, about tech, about the markets, they are doing their friends in Wall Street a favor. And yeah. CP said sellers alone couldn't have caused that spike. 100%, bro. Zero chance. Zero chance. Think about all the limit buy orders people had. Stop losses got fucked. Limit buy orders got fucked. Couldn't even get into your account to close out your trade. You're fucked. So I don't know. It's such bullshit. It's people say it's like what happened with Robinhood. It's worse. It's 10 times worse than what happened with Robinhood. With Robinhood, you couldn't take profit. Here, you couldn't mitigate your losses. You couldn't do any risk control. Even if you had risk control in place, you still got fucked. You couldn't do anything about it. I had a stop loss on my BitTensor position. Didn't matter. So, yeah. Let me go into the questions here. Why was this allowed? Said Roma Goma. Why was it allowed? Mo, my mom's calling me. Mom, FaceTime. Sorry, Mom. I'll call you in a little bit. I love you, Mom. I love you, Mom. I don't know if it was allowed, dude. These market makers and these exchanges do whatever the hell they want, unfortunately. So yeah. Rebrand as Sin City Bitcoin. All right, I'm just going to sift through the chat here. Again, guys, I don't have anything planned. We'll look at the markets a little bit, but this is mainly for you guys. So you want to share how you're feeling, your experience with what happened this past weekend, anything you bought, you know, if you're feeling down in the dumps, you're feeling good. If you have any questions or anything, please throw it in the chat. I don't have anything planned. So I'm kind of going with the flow. Yeah. My understanding is China was cutting off rare earth minerals to much of the world. Yeah, that was the original. And Matt, thanks for the comment. That was the original, like, report. And then China clarified. Maybe China changed it because they saw the reaction from Trump and other countries. But they came back and said, hey, this is not a complete ban, yada, yada. So they try to lighten the blow a little bit. Travis said, I don't think it's crazy to think Trump is being manipulated. I agree, man. I absolutely agree. So that's why I think that might be happening. RustyBot said this was not a crypto issue. It was not caused by manipulation, this and that. It was a macro market problem with exchange servers going down as usual. I think it's a little bit of everything, man. Scott Besson worked for Soros, yeah. He did, Leroy. It's like, just ask yourself this question, right? And just be honest with yourself. If you were in a position where you were privy to some sort of information that could change the lives of, well, your life is probably already changed. If you're privy to that information, you probably don't need the money. What about like a good friend of yours or something, or someone who's struggling and you have the information or potentially change that person's life in a matter of minutes? How hard would it be for you to keep your mouth shut? Right? Now imagine that, add on top of, well, those people are also paying you, they're supporting you, they're funding you, or you have a long-lasting business relationship, or maybe they have something on you. I don't know. Wall Street is here. They're going to continue to pour in, the institutions. Mix that with the exchanges and the shit they've been doing. We need that Clarity Bill Act. And once that happens and some of these exchanges are reined in, some of the market makers and the games they play, you know, CryptoFace did a really good video. I think it was on Friday or Saturday, yesterday, talking about Binance. So I don't know. Yeah. Julio. Well, now that happened and we didn't dip any further, I think that pretty much solidifies that we are still in a bull market. I do think we're still in a bull market. I do. I think it's a lot of like psychological games happening with that post from 2 years ago. It's fucking hot as shit in here, bro. I'm sorry. I got to turn the air on. I'm like, and I have a sweater on. I'm sweating my ass off. It was so nice last night. I turned the AC off and I opened the windows. We're starting to get hot as hell up in here. Just going to turn the air down. We'll go 74. And upstairs, downstairs. Oh, yeah. Okay. Cool. Then I'm just going to text my wife. Hey, babe, can you please come upstairs and close the windows? I just turned on the AC. Thanks. Bye. Love you. Meow. Okay. Yeah, I still think we're in a bull market. I do. I mean, do you like what do we like? Do we look on, do we base it off of price action? Not really. Where did my Bitcoin go? Bitcoin, Bitstamp, come back. I need you. Is this Bitstamp? Yeah. Let's move you to the top, big boy. Tell my kids I'll take them to the park today. They're the windows, yeah. Thanks. This W pattern got invalidated on Bitcoin. This is such a beautiful setup, man. This was supposed to be the breakout, but instead we broke in side down. Do we get a larger M pattern? I don't know, maybe. This would be massive. I don't think that's going to happen, though. There's just too much bullish like news and narratives roaming around the markets. And the other thing I was thinking about is I was very curious with the washout, what else would run and what else would not run. The ones that start running hard, you know, based off of the conspiracy I had, if those alts ran hard and then that, you know, alts like Athena, like ETH, Bitcoin, well, no, Bitcoin's not an alt, but ETH, Solana, Chainlink, your institution coins, right? The coins that the projects that these institutions have been working with, that have been integrating with, those tokens I was keeping my eye on. Are those the ones that are up the most? Which if you look at what's up the most, Dash up 48%, Mantle up 42%, BitTensor. Holy moly, BitTensor up 385. Hi. It got up to 390, I believe. BitTensor. Let's take a peek. I bought some more BitTensor on Coinbase. Threw it right back into my Tangent wallet. I just said I can't not be bullish on BitTensor. 142. That's insanity, bro. Guys, from open to low, 60%. From high to low, 65%. That's crazy. Yeah, but BitTensor is seeing a really nice bounce. It's the second attempt at this breakout. We had it here. This was a green candle, my friends. This was a green volume bar. This was a green candle. And then we came back, closed right at our trend line down here. And now we're seeing another God candle. And it got stopped out exactly where the high was from 2 days ago, which is at 397. I think BitTensor is just gonna melt faces. Another one. So I did a top 7 alt video. BitTensor was one of them. I had 2 other ones, or I had 7 in total, but the other 2 that are performing fairly well. One of them was Hydrex. This was at 80, got up to like 83 cents. I think when I made the video, it was at like 48 cents or something. So performing fairly well. So shout out to Brokyoshi. He put that on my radar. And then Sire. Guys, I'm curious. How many of you have exposure to Sire? Put a 1 if you do. If you don't, you should. I have not felt as confident about a low cap altcoin than I do this one. I don't want to say ever, but it's pretty damn close. This thing is not only going to get a massive speculative rally, but it's going to get a massive utility rally. Vault's open on Thursday. Okay, Vault's open on Thursday. This thing is $22 million, guys. TVL, I think, is like 400 or 320 million. TVL. So massive discrepancy there. This is a $700-800 billion or $700-800 million project, maybe even $1 billion project. I don't know. So let me get my calculator out. I know I can do this a different way, but I like doing this because, so this thing got to 700 million market cap. It's got 21 million coins circulating. It's a shout out to the lifers. It's a $33 sire. I be feeling pretty damn good. Yeah, but if you guys hold sire, throw it in the chat. Casual Zach said he had no issues on Femex. I know there's a few exchanges people don't have issues with. The problem is if a majority of your money is on one exchange, especially the exchange that was struggling or that was fucked, well, you kind of were fucked. That's why I like to always stay diversified in where I hold my money. Very little is held in centralized exchanges, but there's a little bit. Zcash rips like crazy, then the market dumps, almost like someone knew was coming. I'm telling you, man, Zcash is the new cypherpunk Bitcoin. SS said, speaking of Tangent Wallet, will ADA holders ever be able to claim their midnight tokens as a lock? Good question, dude. I was a little disappointed at the difficulty of claiming this token. I look at Solana's airdrops. They're so easy. Okay. So ADA, looks like no Tangent yet. Some, yeah. I finally was able to claim some. And let me tell you, like, I'm not by any means a tech savant in crypto, but I've been in the space a while and I know what I'm doing. And it took me like a day to figure out how to do this shit. And so, like, it's got to be easier, man. Like, got to put the user experience first. You know what I'm saying? Chris said, where to buy Sire? You got to buy it on a DEX. It's a base coin. You can buy it through the Coinbase Wallet app, or you can go to Aerodrome, Uniswap. It's not on Hydrex, but Aerodrome and Uniswap. I use Uniswap, so. Yeah. Regarding MINA, is it safe to claim Bitcoin by blind signing on a ledger? Is it safe to claim Bitcoin? What do you mean? Do you mean claim the midnight that's tied to your Bitcoin holdings? If that's the question, I believe yes. Unless there's some malware. I mean, I feel like it's a loaded question. I'm not saying, Callie, I'm not saying you meant to ask a loaded question, but I don't want to say, yeah, and then something's like fucked up on your computer and you get scammed. So, all right, let me check the chat here. Rain here said, how did the Bitcoin AI bot do? Good question, Rain. Good question, Rain. Let's look. How did Minotaur do? Let's check. If I told you you wouldn't believe me, I have to show you. If I told you you didn't believe me, I have to show you. This motherfucker bought the bottom, bro. This motherfucker bought the bottom. Again, I know I'm cursing a lot today. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. This dude bought the bottom again. Again. $104,000. So yeah, it also bought not the bottom, right? It just bought on the way down. Entry here at 114.2. Entry at 118. Entry at 121. So when I saw this, I was like shocked. With all that volatility, this looks like two separate orders, or this looks like three separate positions. One with an average price of 104. Thank you, Minotaur. One with an average price of 114 and the other one with an average price of 117. So, man, yeah, this thing is pretty dope. Yeah. Flaffenter said, I can't claim my XRP midnight drop because it's in a cold wallet. If it's in Trezor or Ledger, you should be fine. There's a manual way to do it. But if you can't sign that last message, you can't sign that last message, it's not going to matter. Like it doesn't matter. Rain said, yeah, that bot's pretty dope. How much you need? I'll tell you what, it's a high ticket item. I think it's, I don't know the exact number. Give him a call, but it's definitely a high ticket item. It ain't no $1,000. I think it's a little more than 10K, but it's a one-time thing you pay. But even with that, even if you have the money, they won't sell it to you if they don't think you're a good fit. If they feel like you are just looking to, like, if you come off and you say some shit like, well, I'm trying to make, like 50% a month APR, they're going to say, yeah, we're not the product for you. Or if you say, hey, I only got 15 grand in my life savings, they're not going to sell it to you. And so the best thing you can do is just set up a call with them, ask them questions. These guys are great, man. They're awesome. And I love the fact that before we started working together, they said, only talk about it if you think it's good. Only talk about it if you think it's good. If it's not good, don't talk about it. I'm like, all right, bet. Cool. And it's been great. So I've been talking about it. Love partnerships like that. We benefit, the user benefits, and the company benefits if their product is worth it, if their product is good, which these guys, so far, the product is badass. It's badass. Ivan said, which crypto wallet do you recommend? So cold, Tangem all day long, like not even close. Tangem, I love Tangem. It's the best. It's the most user-friendly. In my opinion, it's the safest. Well, you can argue something that's on, but one of the safest. You can swap in there. It's multiple. I mean, Tangem, 100%. If you want to support the channel, there's a link in the description. We get a little like I think 10% kickback or whatever. So, yeah. As far as a mobile wallet, I've been a lot of Base and ETH. So I've been using the Coinbase wallet a lot. I do have Backpack. I have a lot. I have Backpack, Vesper, Phantom, MetaMask. Here, let's just check my phone. What do I have? MetaMask, Backpack, Vesper, Eternal, Trust, Phantom, Base, Magic Eden. So I got a bunch of them, but I've been using Base a lot because I'm doing a lot of Base things, While I'm in here, I might as well check my portfolio a little bit. Okay. Oh shit. Motherfucker. Oh, look who's calling me. Guys, look who's calling me. Well, you're on speaker and I'm live on the stream. What's up? Okay, hold on. The stream can hear you. Okay, go ahead.
I went to a fortune teller, and the second I sat down, she looked at me, she was like, you do something with voices. Yeah, it's like voiceover. And I was like, huh? She's like, right? I'm like, yeah. And she's like,
what?
Yeah. And there's more stuff to it, too. But it's kind of crazy. Yeah, I went to a fortune teller.
A voiceover? What does that have anything to do with anything?
It was, no, you do something with audio or something like that. I don't know.
Wow. You called me and interrupted my stream for that, huh?
Yeah, the fortune teller.
Thanks, man. By the way, Dash is at $55.
Oh, nice.
Did you know when you put out that tweet about Dash seeing a mega rally, do you know what the price of Dash was?
$33.
$33.24. Yeah, good stuff.
I entered and tweeted at the same time.
I gave you credit on the show. Yeah. Anyways, I gotta go. Bye. This fucking guy calls me. Oh man, I saw your comment about there was animosity between you and Rob, me and Rob. Does that sound like animosity? Hell no, bro. It's my dog right there, bro. He calls me to tell me a fortune teller told him he has something to do with audio. Cool, dude. Thanks, man. Appreciate it, man. I'm curious to see where Bitcoin goes. You know, I was really wanted to put in a short. It's like, here's the thing. It's like, if it was all tariff based, we would have seen immediate bounce. Don't worry, it'll be fine. We should have went right back up to like 118. I know it was a, you know, so far it's been a 4% rally, 110.7 to 115 currently. But like I'm greedy, bro. Like if it was tariffs and everyone's hiding behind tariff, I wanted to see it go to like 117, 118, like almost immediately. But that's not what we're seeing. So I don't know. I think part of me believes there's one more leg down. Especially if my conspiracy is true, then I think there's another big leg down. But who knows? But I don't think the bull market is over, man. I don't. I think we're getting mind fucked right now. We are getting mind effed, bro. I'm going to open up a poll. If you guys think we hit 120 first, or if we hit 130 or 105, is that 15K? 130 or 100? What comes first for BTC? 130K, 100K. Okay, I'm curious. Do we get a more downside first, or do we get a new all-time high rally? I think we get one more big leg down, which I'd be totally okay with. I would, in fact, be quite happy. Ricky said, thoughts on Morpho? Looks like it's going to be one of the ones that make it the cycle. Yeah, Morpho's dope. I haven't used it. I know what they do. They got pretty big TVL. I think they're number one in the base ecosystem. Let's go ahead and check that out. I'm just bullish anything DeFi, dude. And, you know, we saw where's base? We saw the posts from like Hyperliquid, AAVE, like, hey, everything was fine. We didn't suffer any outages. We didn't have any problems. And so I think there was a light shined on DeFi. And so I think DeFi is here to stay. If you were to hone it down, I would look at institutional level DeFi and the rails on the infrastructure for that. But you look at Morpho, number one in terms of TVL and base, 2 billion lending, right? Let's see some of their Q3 of 25, 46 million in fees. Let's look at their website. $4 billion in loans. That $4 billion loans, $1 billion deposits. Let's see. Earn. What are y'all paying, man? $4.5% on USDC. What's the highest APY? Can we sort by that? We can. 140% on this. I don't know what the hell this is. USDT from Steakhouse Financial, 25%. So yeah, I mean, DeFi, I'm bullish DeFi. So yeah, I think this thing is going places. It's going to go places, man. Non-skater said, I won't vote because I don't know. Fair enough. Fair enough. Michael Anthony said, Trump Media and Technology Group, DJT, has accumulated approximately $2 billion in Bitcoin and related assets, representing about 2/3 of its total liquid assets. No tariffs. Yeah. By the way, are the markets fucking closed tomorrow or not? I keep hearing people saying markets are closed, markets are not closed. What's going on here, guys? Someone help me out. Too lazy to Google it. I think it'll be red tomorrow when TradFi opens. I don't know. I don't think so. But we'll find out from the pre-market open. Guys, I'm gonna call it a day. Tell my kids I take them to the park. Got to call my mom. Voice is gone. Got a lot of content to film this week. So yeah, I'm gonna call it a day. Thank you guys so much for joining. Somebody like go into the comment section after the fact and put the timestamp of when I shared my George Bush conspiracy with Trump and him getting bad info, because we're going to want to come back to that. We're going to want to potentially come back to that. If there's news or rumors that Trump is looking to fire one of his tech people, David Sachs, Howard Lutnick, Scott Besson, which he's not going to do, and maybe someone else who's kind of in his ear about tech and crypto. If you see that, I'm fucking spot on with my conspiracy. What's up, bro? So yeah. Anyways, my kid's over here hounding me to take him to the park. I love you guys. I will see you tomorrow for the morning stream. Also doing a trading stream tomorrow as well. I love you guys. Have a great weekend. Until next time. Peace. Yeah.